Hodges from Yachting World. We are on board brand new Allure 51.1 here off La Rochelle, and I'm pretty glad I am, because this is a heavy duty go anywhere cruising yacht, and it's got a nice hard bimini, which when the weather's going to be doing this, it's going to be the place to go and sit and keep watch now. And this here is the beauty of having a protected area to keep watch. I mean, I love helming a boat from the wheel, but yeah, not when it does this. Completely protected from the wind and the elements here. A lot of view, and it's you know, it says a lot for choosing the hard bimini option. So on board this, the spray hood arch here, that is, yeah, the main sheet arch is standard, and then you can choose whether to have the fixed glass and hard bimini or a textile spray hood. And we are ploughing on upwind here, doing about 6.5 to 7 knots in about 12 to 14 true in the squalls. Squally, stormy, autumnal and beautiful. Nice sailing here. So a few key areas to point out on this 51.1, as well as the protection this hard bimini gives you and the nice clear views and ventilation there. A key aspect of the design was to have a huge social cockpit area free of sailing systems. So 7 meters worth of cockpit. And yeah, plenty of relaxation area, easy to move through thanks to the split tables. And then it keeps the sailing systems in one distinct area here around the helms. So it's, yeah, it works really well, because it also gives you, you know, an easy way out onto the side decks without having to go right round aft onto the aft deck as well. So these are your main winches really. I mean, they're optional. The Anderson winches, powered winches, comes standard with Lumars, manual, but work really well because you've got the sheets for the multiple head sails coming directly here, and you can cross lead them as well. So if you are taking, you know, if you are using a furler, for example, you can either come to this winch or come all the way across to that one, and they're inboard, no one's leaning out over the decks. There's plenty of tail stowage below. It's been really nicely thought out. And then, yeah, as you can see from where Seb is helming from, it's in direct contact. You either stick it on autopilot and manage it yourself, which you probably would, or you could easily let off a sheet from the helm itself. And then moving aft, you have another area of this cockpit, which is this massive sort of sun deck area, which, you know, you could fit a dinghy on, but with the rear arch as well, which holds the solar panel, you got a pretty good davit structure to carry the tender rib with there as well. So that leaves a pretty protected area below, which is a big lazarette for keeping all your toys, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So he's got his Torpedo engine in here, and plenty of toys and supplies going around the world can fit in there. And yeah, and then you have another access out onto the side decks from here. And while we're under sail, it's a good time to see the sail plan and setup as well. So, you know, classic French or even, you know, ocean cruising setup really, to have multiple head sails on furlers, and easy to move up this side deck here. And then you'll see here, so you have a stay sail set up then the overlapping Genoa, and now we're sailing along with a Jenica on a furlock off the end of the bowsprit. But it feels really secure to move along the deck. Deck itself with flush hatches, grab rail on the coach roof, crash bars around the mast there, and look at the size of the fittings. Nice little tow rail as well, and a flush foredeck area. And then when you set the staysail, there's the running backstays here, so if there's waves, stops the mast pumping too much. You also see there's a carbon Genoa pole on this as well, so you can set that for downwind sailing when you're going across the ocean. But really easy to manage these head sails from the cockpit, all on push button winches, and then a big sail locker below here as well. So if you do have another sail, a spinnaker and a sock or something like that, it'll go in here. Nice deep sail locker, a forward section for the anchor chain, and then right down to the forefoot there. Solid aluminium plating. So yeah, the key concept of Allure aluminium hulls and fiberglass decks and superstructure coach roof there. So you've got the robust aluminium where you want it, blue water cruising, and then a lighter weight deck and coach roof area, which potentially, if you're not painting, if you have to paint the aluminium, then not having to paint the fiberglass so much could be less maintenance. So this is 17 tons light displacement, which is not overly heavy for an ocean sailing yacht, and 22 tons laden, so plenty of payload capacity. This one, the first 51.1 built, is setting off on the Blue Water Odyssey, which is the Grand Lodge Yachting new rally. So it leaves in another week for that, and it has 1,000 litres of fuel in the tanks. So we're laden here, and it's around about the 15-metre mark that they consider aluminium and fiberglass boats to start weighing the same sort of amount. Below that, it's heavier to use aluminium because of the thickness of the plating. And moving back aft here, you can see the long tracks where the staysail and Genoa sheets lead through. You can see everything led back to these winches and cockpit area. Just pulling in the main now, which is set on an in-mast furling system. So from the cockpit you descend 5 curved, easy companionway steps into a modern, bright, airy saloon and living area. And as mentioned, one of the 2 main concepts of the interior space was to have a huge galley area and an aft owner's cabin which utilizes the full beam for the boat. So this saloon itself, raised up, it's 2 steps down going forward or aft, so you get some vision going out of those coach roof windows when you're standing, and then a bit more sitting down as well. They're a little low in the hull for that. But look at this U-shaped galley, really well set up for working at sea. So much headroom here. I can't reach, I can just reach the sea, just reach the deck head there on tiptoes. But straight out in terms of communication out onto the cockpit, and just the stowage all around this boat is phenomenal. And one of the key reasons for that is because the tanks are all set below this saloon area, which means outboard and raised locker stowage, and below the berths is all locker stowage as well. So yeah, below here you have these, you know, big bin stowage there with a drop down part to it. Nice deep single sink, 2 refrigerators, drawer style, and they're fore and aft so, which means that it won't all fall out on one tack. Dishwasher set on this one, microwave, lots of domestic appliances on this. As mentioned, it's set up to go around the world, and yeah, the stowage absolutely everywhere, and there is to starboard, which I'll show you as well. But even if this was just the stowage you had in this galley, it's plenty. Lots of work surface, inbuilt fiddles in all the work surfaces as well, so it's quite easy to move around. This one has GN East Bass induction cooking set up on it. Open every drawer, there's so many of them. These stools that are part of the saloon, they're just on latches there, so they can be moved around, so you can sit them either side of the saloon, or they can adjoin this seat here to form more of a chaise longue. And then you still get a chart table, come coffee table, I guess, work area, office, whatever you want it to be, with an aft facing chair to it. And moving aft here, this is all stowage in this, I guess, a hallway for want of a better word. So you've got all your crockery there, big deep drawers, your cutlery, a bar, it's a French boat, and another drawer fridge there. And this boat is awaiting a washing machine to go in there. And there's, yeah, just stacks and stacks of stowage. And look at these for the technical and spares, all in plastic trays there to pull out, and safe at sea as well. Really nicely done. And a wet hanging locker. Before we go into the aft cabin area, you also get access here, really easy 3/4 height door into the engine room, which is, yeah, really well laid out. So you've got the two 20-volt systems up here, 12 volts there, and then moving on to the engine itself with the rake or fuel filters, twin set up there, so you can switch them over if one gets blocked. Just easy to access everything. And if you look forward from here, that is the gen set, which is set under the companionway steps, so 3 of the companionway steps lift to get access into that. Light and spacious, easy to get at all the systems in there, nicely done. And then you move aft into a very large aft owner's cabin with a big island berth, again stowage all underneath it, drawers there and further aft. Not bad amount of light, especially from those aft facing portholes, but it's yeah, it's the beam that really hits home actually. Yeah, this is a 50-foot boat, but the headroom everywhere is really good, so you maintain, I'm guessing 6'4" headroom under the cockpit here. Get a big sofa area as well, and the ensuite heads and separate shower area. Again, plenty of stowage here, double wardrobe, 2 deep drawers below. So these 3 steps lift for that genset access. And then moving forward, you have a bunk cabin here, ideal for kids. This one's set up as a skipper taking this one to the start of the rally and then hand over to the owner. And jack and access, so 2 door access into heads, and generous size shower there as well. And so that has, with this door closed, has its private access from this forward cabin. another island size style berth, which so you can walk up each side of it. Loads of natural light and headroom, and one tall hanging locker there. Quality's really nice throughout. So Allure, built in the same shipyard as Garcia. So this yacht starts at 766,000 euros. It's an expat, so we're basically talking about €1 million boat, and it's a lot of boat for it. It's a lot of aluminium, but I mean, this takes 5 months for 4 people to weld the hull itself. So yeah, they've done a really nice job. It's the same yard as Garcia yachts, so you're getting the same sort of attention to quality, and it shows. It's a really nice option in this go anywhere 50-foot size range.